Hello and welcome back to the Roodimentary podcast, the podcast where we take the basic things, kind of jumble them up and make them difficult to understand. Last week was a milestone episode. We hit double digits. And what better way to celebrate that milestone than by bringing in a guest speaker? That's right.
Absolutely.
Funcle apparently said, I'm out. He said, 10, I'm done. That's what the contract was for. His agent is still talking to management on this. Anyways, I'm Travis. I'm your host. I'm just happy to be here. As always, we have Andy. Andy, how are you doing today?
Doing well. No fever games today, but did catch some other WNBA action. So,
did you celebrate Angel Reese?
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I'm marveled at the fact that she has an innate ability to rebound, a la Dennis Rodman, but an innate ability to miss shots like me. It's astonishing how bad she is from 4 feet away from the rim.
Oh, for those of you that don't know, which there can't be a lot of you because you watch this show and you know how much we love the WNBA. Angel Reese did set the WNBA record for rebounds in a season. So congratulations to Angel Reese. You'll notice as we, there it is, the clap. As we get more on the show, you might notice a certain topic lacking. We're going to go over to the other side here. We don't want you to adjust your sets. We want you to take a look at our special guest. This is Justin from the acclaimed, popular, super amazing Cultured Dudes podcast, filling in for Funcle. Justin, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you for that. Let me know where to send the check for the little plug. I'll make sure I get that over to you ASAP.
Just follow. We were talking about this pre-show. I know a Nigerian prince that could use the money.
Great. Good to know. I also got a coupon for a burrito place in town. So let me know if I can trade that with you or something. We'll work something out. My people will call your people. It'll be great.
Hotheads Burritos just opening in town. We got the dish from Andy over there. Mm-hmm. Andy, on a scale of 1 to 5 burritos, where do you rate Hotheads Burritos?
I'm gonna go a solid 3.75.
That's a good burrito score.
You know, I mean, I can't go ahead and go higher than that because it's got to be over repeat visits. You can't go too strong right out of the gate. I think burrito joints, they start lacking as the longer they go. Yeah. You know, I was really in love with Chipotle when I first tried it. And, you know, these days, you know, I mean, it's overpriced, but Hothead, a good start with them. A legit Facebook campaign. I did try it. It did work. Was pleasantly surprised with my Hawaiian burrito.
What's in a Hawaiian burrito?
Well, I'm glad you asked. There are pineapples in the Hawaiian burrito. There are. This one had chicken. It had rice. It had black beans and sweet habanero sauce. Which, if you look at the menu, they break things down by no heat, mild heat, and I think the last one is hot.
Okay,
something like that. And ironically enough, sweet habanero ranks as no heat. So those genetically modified habaneros that contain no heat.
What's the heat then?
There was none. This was a not so hot.
That's a problem. Oh, man.
Yeah, false advertising, but still tasty.
Okay. Where does it rank compared to Chipotle? Because Chipotle is those big old massive things.
It was the same one. So, yeah. So Chipotle used to have this thing when the burrito wrap the tortilla would rip.
Right.
They would
right.
at the beginning when they first opened. I don't know if you ever remember this, but at the beginning it would happen. They'd call down the line, man down. So, and then they double wrap this thing. Well, that happened here today. So I did get the extra carbs in the extra wrap.
Awesome.
So because my burrito went man down.
What did they yell? Did they yell man down?
They used to at Chipotle. Here they just kind of saw that it ripped and felt pressure to rewrap it with another one.
They did the quick look up at you.
Yeah. And I was looking at it and I was like, I'm gonna need that double wrap. You know, there's just certain situations where if you don't double wrap, bad things are gonna happen. And this wasn't gonna be one of them.
That's right.
Fair. That's a fair assessment.
Life lessons. Life lessons, folks.
The more you know.
And we're going to start this off with something that has only been known 6 times in the history of the great sport of baseball. That's right, folks. I want you to Shohei the way to the 40-40 club.
Nice.
It's sad that Snakes could not be with us on this episode because if you've listened to the episodes in the past, you know that he is a huge Shohei Ohtani fan. That's right. Shohei Ohtani is the newest member of the 40-40 club. For those of you that don't know, the 40-40 club is a very elite baseball club. 40 home runs or more and 40 or more stolen bases in the same season.
Wow. And he did it 21 games faster.
Yes, than
Which is
any.
incredible.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Shohei is kind of a big guy. Notice that when he was rounding the bases on the replay. He's a large individual.
Which is crazy that he's able to 40 steal. That's insane, right?
Yeah.
So I don't follow baseball as well as Funcle does. So you guys got the Walmart version of Funcle here, but that just seems insane.
Yeah.
And then also, he just had surgery too, right? Like you think that would mess up his swing.
Yeah, luckily it must be his off elbow.
Yeah.
Or his pitching elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah. His second surgery.
That guy
or did he put the surgery out? No, he got it.
No, he took it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, just and he still wants to pitch. He wants to pitch again. To put this into perspective, Justin, you came with the stats already. The 6 players that are in there. The first one to get there was 1988, Mr. Steroid himself, Jose Canseco, with 42 home runs and exactly 40 stolen bases. Barry Bonds, 96, 42 home runs, 40 stolen bases, identical numbers to Jose Canseco. 98, steroids is the theme. Alex Rodriguez, 42 home runs and 46 stolen bases. 2006, Alfonso Soriano, 46 home runs and 41 stolen bases. Probably the most insane member of the 40-40 club when it comes to numbers, Ronald Acuna Jr., who just did it last year. 41 home runs, 73 stolen bases.
Wow.
And Ohtani, 41 home runs, 40 stolen bases. It's, again, very elite, and it's an awesome stat. And he still has 36 games to possibly be a 50-50 member. Will he get there? That's the question we're going to ask Andy. 50-50, what do you project he tops out at?
Let's go. I think he's going to get there. I think he's going to. Yeah, I think they're in a spot right now that Major League Baseball especially is pulling for this guy to get there. So I think you're going to see the stops pulled out to make sure that this guy anytime this guy gets on base, they're going to send him. To help that. And I really think that he's got those 10 more jacks in him before the end of the year. Guy's a hell of a hitter. I'm over the cutesy pitching and hitting thing. Just not worth it. The worst thing they can have happen is this guy come back and start pitching and really damage something, and then it takes him out of the lineup too. They don't need it.
That was going to be my question was, do you think that they're going to have him start pitching since he's in this 40-40 club, or do you think they're going to have him hold off and be like, hey, you're doing work, hitting, and stealing. Let's just have you do that for the rest of the season.
I think, Trav, they've ruled him out pitching this year.
Yes, so he would not pitch this year. He has been noted on many occasions that he does want to pitch next year. 10 years, $700 million might sound different to the Dodgers management. Like Andy said, if something happens and he tries pitching again and he's out of the lineup. Justin,
Yes.
you said you know a little bit about baseball. 50-50 club, 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. Will he get there?
Okay, so there's what, 36 games you said?
36 games left. He needs 9 home runs and 10 stolen bases.
I mean, he did it 21 games earlier than anybody else. I mean, I think it'd be silly to assume that he's not going to, unless something crazy happens. Somebody like intentionally walks him and he's on his 49th. You know, something scummy like that. I mean, it just.
Well, I'm not pitching, so I think he's okay.
Yeah,
that's
fair. There it
you
is.
would.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I don't want to do the hand-holding club over here with Andy. I think it would, but I'm gonna go Price is Right rules. I'm gonna say 47.
Woo!
47 home runs, and I'm going to say this guy is gonna get on base. I'm saying he's gonna hit the 50 for steals. 47 home runs.
And the only member of the 47-50 club.
Right?
That's what he's gonna do.
Yep. Okay. Congratulations to Shohei.
All right.
A couple funny quote about that. Andy, you and I and Dad, Mickey Mantle fans. After Canseco became the first member of the club, Mickey Mantle was quoted in an interview as saying, "Hell, if I'd known 40-40 was going to be a big deal, I'd have done it every year."
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you're starting to see stolen bases come back. For a few years. Stolen bases were seen as a luxury, and you had guys like Billy Hamilton who batted like 211 but stole 50 bases because the one time they would get on base, they'd steal second or third every other game. But steals are coming back. They're playing a larger part in the game.
Yeah. So I could be wrong, but wasn't Canseco the only one to be in the 40-40 club that won the that was an MVP as well? That hit that like their first year or something like. I was reading something that he was for the MVP. He was was picked for MVP and also in the 40-40 club.
Yes,
so I think there were talks about Shohei doing the same thing. Like, was this going to push him in as the MVP for the National League?
And yeah, you're right. Canseco did win the 1988 MVP for the American League, and that brings up a great question. There's Andy. What is it? It's Ted Williams, when he hit 406, did not win the MVP, right? Because that was that DiMaggio's 56 game?
Might have been.
Yeah, it was one way or the other. But baseball's full of these unique year or award seasons. Mm-hmm. And one of them has to do with Ted Williams batting 406, which is just stupid crazy to think about. But it was one way or the other. And I see our researcher over there. He's putting in work on finding that, so I appreciate it. But I'm pretty sure it had something to deal with 406 and the 56 game hitting streak. Mm. And if not, then we'll find out. But Shohei, definitely. For a while, he was a Triple Crown contender. I think he's fallen off on the batting average side of things, but baseball's not about batting average anymore. Baseball's about the one ball.
I would say bet on it, but I don't think that's appropriate with Shohei. So we'll just say.
Ooh.
Here we go.
And with that, we're going to move right along to some familiar and some unfamiliar territory. So Alien debuted last week, and Alien did something that hadn't been done in the 3 weeks prior, and that was a movie to unseed Deadpool and Wolverine as the #1 movie. And how long did that last? 1 week, because this past weekend, Deadpool and Wolverine has reclaimed the top spot, currently sitting at 1.24. Let's see. I've got it right here. $1.21 billion.
I called it. Your guys' episode, I commented on the YouTube video and said he's hitting 1.2.
You did. I was going to bring that up. Look at this guy.
Look at that.
Yes. Currently sitting at the 27th biggest movie of all time. It'll pass Iron Man 3, The Fate of the Furious, and probably Incredibles 2. So it could be in the top 23 of all time. As that
even more impressive that it's rated R.
Yes.
And doing that.
Yes.
But how impressive is it? Like I said, here in Fort Wayne, we're paying like $16 to go to the movies, right? I mean, that's crazy. Fort Wayne's been like the last bastion of the cheap movie, and now we're up 16. Yeah, I don't know what Funcle pays out there in California. It's got to be 25.
Well, he's doing that Stubbs list,
Yeah,
so
that's
he
right.
gets his.
That's right.
Yeah. I will say though, so this week, I'm going to be traveling to Idaho for work, and I was just looking up movie tickets, and they have a Regal out there in Idaho, and those tickets are like $22.
Yeah,
it's
so
Idaho.
I guess.
Well, I mean,
I don't know anything about them. They got potatoes and expensive tickets, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Has anybody checked how many listeners do we have in Idaho?
You're going to have one next week.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, there we go.
Fair enough. All right. Well, maybe I'll hold my next comment.
Oh, there we go. That's fair.
Just
That's
blaring, open the windows down, talking about this podcast. And wanted to talk about what is more impressive, Andy, that Alien had a huge reopening, and it's a franchise that spanned what was the first Alien? Was that
86, 77?
Okay.
78,
so you're talking
like that?
Almost 50 years. You're talking 47 years. That has maintained
1979.
79. So you're talking 45 years that's maintained interest to the point where, hey, it took down, granted it was out for 3 weeks, but it did hit number one in the box office. Or the fact that a movie that's been out for 5 weeks is Deadpool and Wolverine got back into number one after losing that. Andy, start with you. What's more impressive to you? A franchise of 45 years still getting notoriety, still doing well in its opening, or a movie like Deadpool and Wolverine still prevalent 5 weeks after the release?
Well, I think they're both impressive for different reasons, and Deadpool and Wolverine impressive, in this post-COVID era of pulling down these numbers as an R-rated film, but does have the benefit of having the backing of the Marvel brand, which was a bit rocky here the last year and a half.
Yep.
But still, when you have that and you've got that built in and you've got that toy box of characters that made this movie so successful. The thing about Deadpool and Wolverine, I don't think any of us are going to be going ahead and maybe it was Justin. No, Justin, maybe it was you. I was listening to the latest episode of Cultured Dudes. Was it you talking about the story? Wasn't anything that?
Yeah, it's not anything to really write home about. I mean,
yeah, and I think that's what makes it even more impressive. Is to me, I remember I had to when I heard you say that, I thought, well, wait a minute, let me reset and think exactly what did happen, because where I was all the funny stuff, all the cameos and all the characters that got brought in, and all the comedy stuff. That's where I said, so that really resonated. That the story didn't have to go ahead and really it seemed like it was going to be a built-in success,
right? Yeah,
regardless of what the story said. So again, ultra impressive that as an R-rated film it's doing what it's doing. Alien Romulus is impressive from the standpoint of Alien, Sigourney Weaver, Ridley Scott, and then James Cameron and Aliens, and then the fall off in Alien 3, David Fincher, and then the kind of backlash from Alien Resurrection.
Yep.
And then you had the really subpar Alien versus Predator movies, and then kind of the comeback with Prometheus, which was kind of, you either liked it or you didn't. Covenant got a little bit more on solid ground, but Romulus, I've heard, got back. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard got back to kind of the horror film feel that Alien, the original one, was. And I mean, if you've never seen it, it's a horror film. It's a sci-fi horror film, and not just a movie about an alien.
Yeah. Funcle had mentioned that on the last episode of my show, and the same thing. He really enjoyed it, but I've heard a lot of people saying that it's good, but like they didn't like how it ended, and it just really wasn't anything to kind of write home about. But I think it's one of those things where, so me personally, I've not seen any of the Alien flicks, so I'm not a big horror guy, so I really had no desire to see it. I've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, and when we were at the theater, I saw the Red Band trailer for this. I'm like, oh man, this this is actually kind of cool. So as somebody that's not interested in the genre was like, I might actually see this. Now, with that being said, from what I've heard, I have a lot of friends that are big fans of these series, and it seems like they were kind of starved for any kind of quality alien flick for the last few years. So, I mean, it's impressive that, I always think of like Spaceballs with the joke of like, and next Rocky 5,000. And so I feel like we're kind of getting in that same realm here. But I mean, if people like it, they like it. I mean, I've heard people that say that this is one that they'll watch once and it's not like I'm going to go back and watch it again, where I think people are doing that with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh,
I think,
absolutely.
I mean, and like I said, the story, I asked Taylor, my wife, afterwards, I'm like, hey, so what was the story about? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I know. I don't think
Now you
anybody
guys see it again.
does, Yeah. So we did go see it. But I mean, there's that whole scene where it's like 15, 20 minutes. It feels like of just straight exposition. I don't think people are going for that. They're going to see the yellow suit Wolverine. You're being told that this is, Hugh Jackman's last role as like Wolverine. That's what people want to see, man. And I think that's what's drawing it back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they want to see Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman up there, which I don't know if we've mentioned it on here. I think Culture Dudes might have mentioned it. The Hot Ones with Ryan Reynolds.
Gosh,
so fun, man.
And Hugh Jackman. Oh, what a great one.
So good.
Anything, man. Anything that they've done, any kind of advertising for this has just been spot on. That's what's really setting this movie apart. I mean, it could literally just be 2 hours of just them fighting in a desert, and people would be all about it.
Yeah.
If you saw Wolverine pull the mask up,
Oh,
if you saw that,
yes,
that's enough. I mean, it's great.
So many clap-worthy moments in that movie.
Yeah.
And to put it in perspective, Alien Romulus has gained $225 million worldwide. Only about $1 billion more to go to catch Deadpool and Wolverine. So,
wow.
Get your rewatch tickets out, folks.
So before you jump on, what do you guys think it's going to hit then? I mean, this is rated R. Are you guys thinking it's going to hit 400, 500?
I think it loses steam pretty quick now.
Yeah.
I think it loses steam pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think so. I think as what I've seen, like you guys have both mentioned, there's the fans of alien movies or sci-fi. Hey, let me see this. The fans of the franchise. But then once you get past those, is it enough to draw, new people to it? And I don't think it is. I see. I'll say low side. I'll say 400 million.
Yeah. I think another thing to consider is we're getting towards the end of summer and we're getting into spooky season. So now is when you're going to start having this real saturated market of horror movies, indie horror movies. And I think it's going to get lost in the mix.
Yeah. And we'll see what happens with Beetlejuice coming out.
Don't say it again.
Yeah.
Hey.
Twice.
This could have been an interesting.
Oh, that would have been horrible. Or fun.
Also, both movies, Walt Disney Studios, Alien and Deadpool and Wolverine. So, Thank you, Disney. Moving right along, this is a question that is pertinent in today's world. And Funcle, as we were talking about pre-show, he couldn't be here, but he was in our group chat and he was talking about it. And the thing is, all three of us, Justin and Funcle, have their own separate podcast, Culture Dudes. Andy has his own podcast. I have my own podcast aside from this one. And we all love it. We all enjoy it, things like that. And, there's just the world of media is growing more and more every day. And this topic, let me ask you a question or not, stems from the recent events that happened at Colorado University, where Colorado University banned a reporter from asking Coach Deion Sanders any more questions. Colorado has banned Denver Post columnist Sean Keeler from asking questions of football coach Deion Sanders or other members of the football program. And that ban will last indefinitely, they said, because of the personal attacks on the football program and specifically Coach Prime. So apparently the guy had over and over, according to other stories that he had written, a Colorado Athletic Department media relations staffer told the newspaper it took issue with Keeler's references to Sanders as Deposition Deion, the Bruce Lee of BS, and a false prophet, as well as his uses of phrases such as Planet Prime, the Deion Kool-Aid, and circus. The decision comes 2 weeks after a news conference in which Sanders accused Healer of always being on the attack and asked, "What happened to get you like this?" Added Sanders, "No, I'm serious. I want to help because it's not normal." So there are people that from all internet, so and so sports reporting.net that, have are credentialed members of the media that get in here, whether they run a blog, if you're lucky enough or fortunate enough to, be one of those members on an offshoot or whatever that has credentials, you get in. There's more and more people that are associated with, I'll say far off sites, newspapers. But Justin, I wanted to start with you because we
Sure.
started with Andy. What do you think in the world that we live in today where everybody can, make their own news, make their own channel, make their own, judgments and make their own opinions known? Do you think this is a good or bad example? It's happened before, let's be honest. But because of personal attack, what they call personal attacks, do you think this is big news, small news, no news?
I think it's a nothing sandwich, man. I mean, the fact is, regardless of what Coach Deion Sanders would have said, if this guy truly does feel any kind of negative attitude towards them, they would have found something in the interview to spin negatively. I mean, I don't think it really amounts to anything. I mean, I always feel the best way to combat something like that is, my dad used to say you catch more bees with honey than you do vinegar. So I get, Deion Sanders being frustrated with it and trying to approach it. But then if this guy's narrative is to make this guy out to be, a negative person or this problem guy, you're just giving that more fuel to the fire. And so I think the way to handle it is, kind of what he did, but maybe not even commenting on it. And the organization has the right to choose if they want to be interviewed for it. I mean, it's difficult because right now anything can be spun anyway, and especially in a world where people are looking at news articles that are very misleading titles on on X or on Facebook.
Absolutely.
I mean, open up a Facebook feed and look at like Lad Bible where they post a comment on something and just read through the comments. I mean, the comments are just, I can't believe that's the case. I can't believe this would happen. It's like, well, you didn't read the article.
Yes.
And that's not what happened. And you're automatically assuming. Like, there was this whole thing with like Blake Lively. Are you guys familiar with the issues with her now and all the heat she's getting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So people are just, at first they were like, oh, she's such this great person. And then all of a sudden there was this article that came out that she had basically verbally attacked somebody that was interviewing her because she mentioned, or the interviewer mentioned that she was pregnant. And she, like, Lively lashed back out and said, oh, well, when are you due? And the person wasn't pregnant. And so, I mean, no matter what you say, it's going to be spun. And the way to handle that is just to try to, keep a professional attitude. You're a professional in whatever field you're in, and that's the best way to handle it. So
I like that. I like that. And we're at 28 minutes and 34 seconds. I believe this is the first mention of our good friend Ort, maybe second. I have these discussions with Ort, as Andy knows many times over. Our friend Ort likes to send us videos from time to time. And a lot of them are, I'll look at the headline first. And if the headline is stupid, no, I'm not going to watch it. If it's sensational, if it's extremist, no, I'm not going to watch it. If you're going to lead with a story with some, oh, let me say this so I can grab. No, let's just make it a headline and see. But you made a good point. These programs, even if Mr. Keeler is in attendance, these guys are calling out who's asking the question, whether it's Coach Prime, whether it's somebody from the staff. They could simply just not call on them every time. But to bring it out to the forefront, does it add fuel to the fire? And Andy, I wanted to go second with you because you've been an outspoken, fervent supporter of Coach Prime and everything he stands for. And so I wanted your take on the University of Colorado banning a reporter from asking questions of Coach Prime.
Well, before I get into this, I will say that Deion Sanders is the best cover cornerback of all time. There's no question. I mean, you just didn't try and throw that guy's way.
Yep.
So that being said, this is the status quo for Deion, right? I mean, Deion is always has been and always will be about Deion. He loves the limelight, negative or positive. Since he got to Colorado, he's fostered a culture of Colorado versus the world. There were celebrities showing up in Boulder for the first few games until it was realized that Colorado wasn't a serious contender in even the Pac-12. And they, I believe, finished at the bottom because they're not a very good team. I don't think you're going to find anybody in the next few years that recruits as well as Deion. He is a magnet for young men to go up there. He's lived the limelight. He did it in college. He did it in the NFL.
And two of the biggest franchises in NFL history. Yep.
And so, there are kids that go there and want a piece of that. What else does Colorado do? I believe they have a whole staff for helping these kids get their social media presence up. And I believe I read that in year one, that was something that he was using as a recruiting tool, that, he will teach, that they will teach the kids how to market themselves. Great. I mean, that's, that's going to bring in kids. It's brilliant marketing within what the NCAA allows now. But, I think regarding this whole situation with that reporter, I think I saw in it at one of the other press conferences, Deion wasn't taking any questions from anybody from CBS. It wasn't just that reporter. After that happened, he said, another reporter wanted to ask, he said, "You're from CBS, right?" And he said, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to answer your question." He says, "But I'm local." And he said, "Yeah, but you still work for CBS." And so I'd be anxious to see what the TV deal is with CBS and college football, to see how that's going to work out, because it's really silly. The whole thing is, I mean, like I said, nobody loves a microphone in front of their face more than Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And for him to go ahead and not be able to take shots, he's not new to sports. This is what sports fans do. They pick apart things. If you're not a fan of Tom Brady, when the Patriots were winning all those Super Bowls, you take shots at Tom Brady. It's what it was, the Patriots versus the rest of the NFL. So this is nothing new. It's nothing else. It's just, I think it's Deion trying to go ahead and use bulletin board material again, the world versus the University of Colorado, and using it as a motivating tool, which I think he's one of the best at doing, making something out of nothing for motivation. But we haven't seen yet how good the X's and O's are on the big stage of college football. I mean, they didn't work too well last year. I think they had 4 wins and they were all early.
They 3-0 and then 1-8 in the last 9 games.
Yeah. So, they've got to do something. He made a comment earlier that when people play, or I'm not sure if it was one of his kids said that, whenever Colorado goes somewhere, it's the other team's Super Bowl. And I'm like, that's big talk for a 4-win team.
Yeah.
The celebrities stopped going to the games after that 0-3 start. You didn't have the Rocket on the sidelines after that. So, but again, that's a Deion effect, right?
Yep.
So you're going to have
usually say, give coaches, 3 years to build their team. You're in year 2 right now. Yep.
Yeah. Give them a recruiting class, 4 years to get their recruiting class in there. But I think he kicked out most of the other kids anyway.
Yeah.
He cleaned house. So,
Yep.
He's going to be on the hook sooner than the rest of not being able to go ahead and blame other players if they don't get right. It's good for him. It's the division he's in, and he's not in the SEC. So,
what would be the motivation of this? If he's doing, is it just to get attention directed towards him? Is he trying to go to somewhere else?
What he can do is he can go into the locker room and say, "You see how they treat us. You see how they disrespect us, and we're going to go out there and show them they're not going to disrespect us." And it gets. I mean, not that we've got a national following, but it gets us talking about it too. So
that's a good point.
No media, no press is bad press, as the old saying goes. So the dude loves the camera, loves the microphone, and it gets people talking about him.
I don't watch football, and I'm looking it up. So I mean,
what
does that tell you?
Speaking of football topics. We're moving right along to one of our regular subjects here, and that's the Pondering Peeps draft. Even though he's not here on the show, he's here in spirit because he left us with an amazing question that we kind of put our own twist onto it. And this week's draft pertains to what hairstyle an actor wore in a movie would you choose to wear? And Justin, you've listened to the show, so you know how it works. It's a snake draft. You're the guest. We're going to let you go first.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is number one pick, and anything else that you guys say doesn't matter. This is right here, the winner. This is the winner right here.
This is like popcorn at the movie theater snack that didn't even have to be mentioned. That's clear-cut number one.
Gourmet popcorn at Carmike, chocolate popcorn right here. Number one pick for the Culture Dudes podcast. We take Ben Stiller as White Goodman in Dodgeball. That hair, with the bandana. I mean, Pepper Cotton's even said, "Look at that hair; it is beautiful and fluffed." I mean, that's Cotton. He's not going to see very well with that on. That is, if I had hair like that. Okay, look, this guy. I'm probably about a Midwest 3. If I had White Goodman's hair, we're talking a Midwest 12. Easy.
Yeah. Easy.
Nice. Easy.
Yep.
That's my pick for the Culture Dudes podcast.
Well done.
That's solid.
Thank you.
Andy, you want to do next or you want me to?
It's up to you. Go for it.
All right. I'm going to take the cheapie. I know, Snakes, when you listen to this, you'll love it. I'm going to take Austin Butler as Elvis in Elvis's hair.
What a surprise.
There it is. I did it. Take that,
shocking.
Funcle.
As if I'm sure the audience is stunned. Stunned.
Shock and awe.
Can't even. That's it.
And that's the show.
And there it is, guys. Draft's over. I got White Goodman. He's got Elvis. Have a week.
Andy, 2 picks for you.
Ooh.
All right. Well, how about I do this then? I wasn't going to do this unless you did that. How about Kurt Russell as Elvis in Elvis?
Wow.
Yep. How about that?
Fire.
Yep.
So, loopholes all around.
Yep. So Kurt Russell as Elvis in Elvis. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a blanket coverage here. I don't know if this is allowed, but I'm going to try it. Brad Pitt in any movie that he's ever done.
Come on. No, that's not allowed. As a guest, can I veto that rule?
All right. If I got to go one, I'm going to go Brad Pitt with, I'm going to go off the board just a little bit with an interesting hairstyle. How about Brad Pitt in Fury?
Ooh. Ooh. You got me real nervous for a second. Okay, that's good. Okay. Oh man.
Something tells me I just about torpedoed
these headphones
the rest of the draft. Eyes went wide.
When we get to me, I'll explain the eyes wide. We'll see what happens. Oh boy.
Okay. All right.
What Elvis character would you choose, Trav?
Which Brad Pitt character would I
No, stay away from Brad. You keep Brad out of your mouth.
What a great
Here
line.
we go. This one is a little bit off the beaten path.
Okay.
All right. Real quick preface to it. Growing up from 8th grade and probably until my wife told me I couldn't get my hair cut this way anymore, I wore a flat top.
I wonder why.
I wore a flat top from 8th grade until probably 32 years old. And I loved it. But there was a kind of I remember seeing him in old black and white films. So I'm going Barry Pepper when he played Roger Maris in the movie 61, because Roger Maris's flat top, that hairstyle, perfect. Just perfect. Yeah, I'm going again, Barry Pepper, Roger Maris in the movie 61, directed by Billy Crystal. If you're a baseball fan or a Yankees fan, watch it. Great movie.
What can we do to bring back the flat top?
We all get one and we wear it on this show every episode until we reach episode 50.
Done. Done. Okay, so me then? Do I get 2?
Yep, you get 2. Yeah.
Oh,
Here we go.
the only other correct option. Culture Dudes for the second round picks Brad Pitt and Troy.
Wow.
It's
Oh, long,
flowing.
luscious locks.
Apparently, in case you guys can't tell, I've got a thing for long, luscious locks, and that's my thing. Plus, we
Okay.
have
Brad
the
Pitt. Yeah, it made
little
sense.
coastal thing. Yeah, look at this. I don't
It
have
made
that.
sense. Yep.
That's what that was on. Number 2 pick for the Culture Dudes podcast. We're going to choose, which is why I got nervous, Kurt Russell,
Oh,
Stuntman Mike, and Death Proof.
okay.
Wow.
He's got the
Okay.
stubble, kind of
Okay.
grizzly, but then he has the nice little pompadour looking thing with the sunglasses.
Mm.
It's a stud, man. That's a stud.
Wow. Good call. Good call.
Thank you.
Kurt Russell getting some love for the hair.
He can have all the love he wants from this guy over here. Whatever he wants.
My final pick. I'm going to stick with the military theme, but give it a little flash. I'm going Val Kilmer as Iceman in Top Gun. Yes.
Wrong.
That's good.
Strong
That's a good pick. That's
Yep.
good.
That is
Val.
a pick. Ouch.
Do you get the jawline as well?
You know how many surgeries I would have to take to get that jawline?
Man, that's Val Kilmer at his height. I mean, that's Val Kilmer as Iceman is a lovely looking man.
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Absolutely. No,
No.
just
I mean,
locked in.
yeah. I mean, just what a
Beautiful. Just a beautiful
man.
man.
yeah,
What a beautiful man.
The Iceman. Very
That's right.
well done.
We could use some Iceman over here. It's getting hot. Whew,
Yeah,
man,
you're
I
right.
tell you, all these studs in this chat. Oh my lord. Oh,
Good gracious.
Wow, you got to top that, Andy. This is the final pick of the Pondering Peeps draft for what hairstyle an actor wore in a movie you would choose to wear.
And I think one of the rules was no wigs, right?
Right. Yep. This
Okay.
has to be the real.
Okay.
well,
You
now
know
we're
what?
saying no wigs.
I think
That was a
that-
wig
that's
for
what he
White
put.
Goodman.
Hey, yours. You know what?
Whatever. That you didn't know. That's good.
Vin Diesel and Fast and Furious. With that,
Well done.
all
No
natural.
wig. No wig.
No wig. Not a wig in sight on that guy.
Strong. Strong. I'm gonna go with something a little more classic and just simple. How about Robert De Niro in The Godfather Part 2? Young Vito Corleone.
Yes.
Oh. I could see that. That might
Yeah.
be the most realistic for the three of us, right?
That's
I can see that.
very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let's be honest, none of us have the ability to rock Val Kilmer's Iceman. That's just not happening.
We could try.
I don't have the ability to rock anybody's except maybe Vin Diesel.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I mean that
A
I
fat
might be
white
able
guy,
to do
I can
that.
pull Vin Diesel easily, right? I got that.
Gosh, man, that was a solid. Snakes,
Yeah.
what a great question.
Way to go,
I think
Snipes.
I think what we've proven though is that Kurt
You don't need 'em?
Russell has the most luscious head of hair in Hollywood.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute. Him and Brad Pitt. I
Yeah.
think they each had 2.
Yes.
People watching this in the comments, let us know of a movie where Brad Pitt or Kurt Russell does not have beautiful locks of hair.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, that's good.
Guardians of the Galaxy, beautiful hair.
Beautiful.
Beautiful hair.
Yep.
Even in
Beautiful.
Hateful Eight, even though it's like all kind of the old, he's got that beautiful, and the beard.
Mm.
Bone
Forget about
tomahawk.
it.
Just
Forget about it. I don't
Yep.
think you can.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Jack Burton.
Oh, there's no trouble there. No trouble there,
Not
my
at
friend.
all.
No trouble.
You know what Jack
I'm looking at a
Burton
picture of
was.
Kurt Russell right now, and gosh, dang it! Oh, these handsome individuals.
He's
So
just
true.
made it his wallpaper on his computer. Folks, that was our Pondering Peeps draft. This might be one of my favorites. We had some food related, some great ones. But yeah, this might be the fave. We're going to finish up today with our longest running segment, the Your Playlist Sucks, You Can Borrow Ours. Again, for those of you new to the show, the premise of this is if you go on Apple or Spotify and you type in Your Playlist Sucks, You Can Borrow Ours, you'll see our playlist that we are adding to. It's a living, breathing organism that is just awesome. You'll see all the picks from every week. After the show, we upload them to both podcasts or both playlists, and you guys get to enjoy. We'd love to hear what you think about the music, see who your favorite is, what you digging. That's right. I did it.
Well played.
And
Well played.
maybe where you're not feeling it. So
Mm.
we're gonna open it up again to Justin, who amazing fill in
Thank you. Thank you.
for Snakes on this podcast. Your debut edition.
This is tough. This is a big. This is crazy. First
Is it
impressions
Cabin
matter,
Crew?
right?
Sorry, it's already been taken. Sorry, Cabin
Ah,
Crew's out. Yeah,
dang
yep,
it.
you're done.
All right. What about how did he call it? Chappelle Rowan. What a loser. This guy trying to say he's a fan and can't even say the name right.
Who does that?
It's like he's playing a Shireless role or something. I doesn't know what he's talking about. Clearly, how can you be a fan of music and not know the name? It's disgusting. Disgusting. Okay, so I am going to do. See, Funkel always brings the new stuff, and he's trying to hit you with stuff, and it doesn't fit the playlist. Let's be honest. This guy, he's bringing you down. So what I'm going to do, I'm bringing it back, Funkel.
Okay. Here
I'm
we
going to do
go.
a little something where it's a little new, but I think it's going to cater to both of you, especially you up there, pal. We're going to do a band called The Sacred Souls, and the song "Weak for Your Love" is what we're going to do. It is it's a band that does a lot of neo soul, kind of soul music, and a little bit more of a modern taste. I think it's a band that you guys would enjoy, but also giving you something a little new. So what I'm putting out there.
Excellent. What year did that come out?
That's a great question. I don't know. Let me pull it up. I think it was 2021.
Okay.
Sacred Souls. Let's pull it up here. That is on the album, their self-titled album, The Sacred Souls, in 2022.
Still new, but a throwback style of music, like a little soul. Okay.
Yeah, they got really popular for a song called "Can I Call You Rose" that was trending on TikTok and social media. But this one is a little kind of further down on the album. Definitely worth listening to. "Weak for Your Love." That was my pick.
All right.
You and hear it, man.
Neo soul. I don't know if I've heard that genre, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it's great. Yes. I think you'll dig it.
You and Funkel are in tune with the social media things and all the hippity hop that's on social media.
On the TikTok.
Oh, yes. As you can tell from our most recent episode, I don't know a thing about it, and I'm trying to stick with the cool kids and trying to be cool, but it makes sense that my, 40-something-year-old uncle is more aware of TikTok than I am. But, to each their own.
That's that California life. That's
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'll let Andy finish out this time. Again, for the second week in a row, mine changed the day of. And it wasn't really, anything of news breaking or anything like that. I was driving to pick up something, and one of my playlists hit on my phone. I was listening to it, and I just hit shuffle, and this song came up. And if you're looking to me, for the most part, to bring you upbeat, really peppy songs like that, for the most part, you're out of luck. I'm going to bring you songs that you probably shouldn't listen to while you're alone sometimes if you're depressed or sad. But
great.
I'm going
to add it to the playlist then. That sounds like a fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome.
Or not.
The one I'm going with, I'm a huge Hank Williams Sr. fan. Just his voice, the talent, how many songs he wrote, everything he did for music. Hatred Looking. You got Kalijah, which is another one. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry, but which Elvis called the saddest song you ever heard. Anyways, I'm going with Cold Cold Heart by Hank Williams Sr. And it was on my playlist and came in. It's just one of those songs that you listen to, and it's a beautiful melody. He sings it amazing. It's been covered by a few people. I believe, Andy, you turned me on to the Norah Jones cover of Cold Cold Heart. You brought it to my attention. She does a beautiful
she's incredible.
Norah Jones.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
And it's listening to him sing it. He is one of the guys that you can feel the pain that he's going through when he sings most of his songs. You look at some of his songs, Dear John, about his wife leaving him a Dear John letter. He even has a song, if you go deeper into the tracks of his catalog, there's a song he did called My Son Calls Another Man Daddy.
Oh, that song makes me cry. Oh my
dude,
God.
yeah, dude, it's
heartbreaking.
Yes, and Cold Heart is just one of my favorites of his that I've listened to for a long time. So listen to it. His voice, it's an acquired taste. I'm not going to lie, but to me, it's amazing. It's one of the best that I've heard in my life as far as portraying what he's singing. Cold Heart, Hank Williams Sr.
During the summer, when I was much younger, my dad would wake us, my brothers and I, up by singing "Hey, Good Looking." It'd be like 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday, and you would just hear "Hey, good looking." It's like, oh my God, go back to bed. What is wrong with you, you animal?
I would do that sometimes to Beth until she almost threw my phone once. Like, when I get up, I'm up. It's time. And so if we were getting ready in the morning, whatever, I'd put on songs that I knew she'd hate. And a lot of the time it was Hank Williams.
That's awesome.
She doesn't like that when she's fully awake, let alone at 6:30 in the morning.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Andy, time to wrap it up, kid. I'm excited.
All right. Yeah. I don't have anything that's nearly as deep as that. As a matter of fact, this is just pure pop candy.
Funcle Hipster is here today, guys. Oh my gosh. There he is. At the end of the show. Welcome back, Funcle. I missed you.
So
he's trading Andy picks.
This is from 2001. And it is a song, kind of a comeback song on an album by the Go-Go's. And it's called Unforgiven. And, there's I don't have a story behind this one other than a couple years back, it popped up on something on Apple Music. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of remember that song. And so I looked into it, and Billy Joe Armstrong plays on it from Green Day.
Yep.
And co-wrote the song. So it's got kind of that it's just a fast go-go-esque song. So yeah, just a good something to offset the Hank Williams there. So we'll even it out a little bit between the two. Yeah. So yeah, Go-Go's Unforgiven, 2001.
Very good.
Solid. See, so we've got all over the place, and that's what this playlist is supposed to do, or we hope it does. It gets you looking at different genres, different artists, different styles, things like that. And then, just like with Cold Heart, you look into covers. And again, by all means, listen to the Norah Jones version. So we had 2022, we had 2001, and we had 1951. So we've covered some genres, some eras.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings us to the end of the podcast for this week. First of all and foremost, I would like to thank Justin for jumping in here and for hosting. I hope you had as much fun as we did having you here. So we're going to give you the final thoughts first. Your final thoughts, your final takeaways from this episode of Rudimentary.
I think the most important takeaway is that we don't need Funcle here. Let's be realistic. This was a great show. I would put this probably top 2 episodes. Just throwing that out there. We got us. This is great. This is fantastic.
Solid pick.
Solid pick. And we love Kurt Russell. That's a big takeaway.
Oh, Brad Pitt. That's always a takeaway.
Val Kilmer. I mean, come on.
Tell me what's the takeaway. Oh my Lord.
Val.
Yeah.
Perfect. Andy, your final thoughts.
Well, I just want to say that going to see a Fever game. Wednesday.
What?
Yeah, number 6 of the year. Connecticut Sun. Go Caitlin Clark.
Wow.
Let's finish the year strong here. May or may not have some money riding on some stuff here. So CC, if you can help me out, I appreciate it. And put your shopping carts back.
There it is. I know that's on Wednesday, you said?
Mm-hmm.
That means by the time we record the next episode, that'll be less than 48 hours old for Funcle just to take in all the WNBA knowledge.
And I knew that he was worried about it. He texted me when he said, "Hey, I need you to step in." I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "But do me a favor, really limit the Caitlin Clark until I get back. And I'm like, I totally get it. He loves hearing it. We talk about it all the time. So don't let him fool you if you're watching back. He loves it.
Well,
This-
I mean, giving the people what they want, excuse me, Freudian slip, is what I do.
Hey,
Give the people what I want.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let's be honest.
Sorry.
This is open, honest time. The end of the show. We got to be honest.
we're in the trust triangle. It's fine.
Trust triangle right here.
My final thoughts are, as always, thank you guys for listening to us. As you can see, no matter who's on the show, we have fun. There's a lot of laughs. We all think alike. We all, enjoy a lot of the same things, and we enjoy conveying sometimes our senseless knowledge to you guys. Sometimes we actually have deep thoughts that might actually mean something, but at the end of it, we're just talking. We're just having fun. We're enjoying talking to each other, bringing you guys all the things that we would talk about normally just between us and sharing it with you. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast. So there will be a subscribe button at the bottom right. As you can see, it will bring more people to the show. It'll get us out there more and more as we continue this journey. Be sure to take a look at Instagram, Facebook, the Roodimentary channel on both of those. Funcle will be setting up the TikTok for Roodimentary. That's right.
Nice.
And we look forward to hearing from you guys. Make sure to comment, click the bell, and that way you know when new episodes drop. As always, thank you. This has been episode 11 of the Roodimentary podcast.
And don't forget to go ahead and after you put the kids to bed, check out this guy's podcast.
Hey,
Cultured Dudes. But yeah, wear headphones. Put the kids to bed.
Yes, if you're rocking your kid to sleep, throw some headphones on and just enjoy it. You know, it's good old family fun.
Oh, it's the most family fun if you were listening to Hank Williams in the 50s and still drank while rocking and smoking and all that stuff, rocking your kid. It's great. Super
filling
clean.
their bottle with whiskey.
Oh God, yeah.
And been up a little bit too late tonight.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.